The Miami Mall incident refers to events that occurred at Bayside Marketplace in Miami on New Year's Day 2024, sparking widespread rumors of alien sightings. Multiple eyewitness reports and videos circulated online claiming 8 to 10 foot tall shadowy beings were spotted at the mall amid scenes of panic and a large police presence. Some accounts described shadowy, smoky entities with glowing purple eyes moving through the shopping center.
Next thing you know, you start hearing all this commotion outside, sound like firecrackers or something. So, you know what I'm saying? I grab her close. I'm like, yo, we about to get up out of here, because I originally thought that they were shooting. You know what I'm saying? I thought, some type of gunfight had broke out, whatever the case is, because we're not familiar with Miami, we're not familiar with the city. So I'm like, damn, I ain't even got my blick. So, you know what I'm saying? We about to swerve. Next thing I know, it's like crazy. Like, we just see all these people running, like, fat chicks, old ladies, like, I'm talking about moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, old people even move. I'm talking about moving. So, my girl, she like, what's going on? I'm like, fuck all that, we out. Like, I'm not gonna ask no questions. We just gonna follow the crowd. Next thing you know, real like gunshots start going off. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we trying to follow the crowd, get out of there. I look back, no cap, yo, no cap. I look back, it looked like a big ass shadow, but it was solid at the same time, like a few shadows, but they were solid at the same time. And it almost looked like they was coming our direction, like they was chasing us, but they was disappearing and reappearing closer. So I'm like, yo, what? So we start really moving. Next thing you know, we start hearing more gunshots. Like, these dudes start firing at this shit. Get outside, mad police, all that. You know what I'm saying? The police is like trying to get all the people that ran out the mall. They like trying to detain these people, whatever. But me and my girl, we ended up just sliding past all that and everything like that. But a lot of people saying, why didn't nobody film and all that? When that type of shit is going on, you know what I'm saying, shit like that, like some paranormal, nobody thinking about no phone. You know what I'm saying? Everybody going survival mode.
While authorities officially stated it was a brawl involving juveniles and fireworks mistaken for gunshots, many remain skeptical of this explanation.
Alright guys, so just to address a few clips that are going viral on social media right now. First, our response to that big incident in Bayside Marketplace. What happened was there was about 50 or more juveniles that were shooting fireworks at people. There was also some looting going on, so officers that were on that scene were having a little bit of trouble containing it, so they called what is called a citywide 3, which every officer in the city responded. That's why you saw so much police presence for that call to contain that crowd. Now, there is now video going viral of 8 to 10 foot aliens walking around Bayside. Is actually just a person walking with a shadow. So I can confirm to you all here today right now that there are no aliens in Miami in Bayside Marketplace at the moment. So it's Friday. I hope you guys have a great weekend and stay safe.
Several people reported having their phones confiscated before they could post videos, fueling speculation of a cover-up. The incident gained national attention, even being discussed by celebrities like the Kardashians, who debated its authenticity on their reality show.
Wait, what do you think of this alien situation at that Miami mall?
Oh my God, I heard about it.
The Miami thing was fully real.
I think it's real.
I think so too.
Obviously, that was 100% real. Where are all the video?
No
Mom,
way. 200
are you kidding me?
cars.
They have technology that wipes it all out.
Rob.
Yo.
Kendall and I are talking about the Miami mall situation. Kris Jenner's over here. Like, there was fireworks and a mall fight.
I just don't force people to believe what's actually happening.
So, Mom.
Rob, for the record, I do believe in aliens.
There's literally 7 species of aliens, and there's good aliens and bad aliens.
It's more than that, Rob.
There's more than that for sure, Corey.
Some ufologists and conspiracy theorists believe it may have been a legitimate alien encounter that was quickly covered up by officials and mainstream media. The lack of clear video evidence, despite the crowded public setting, is seen by some as suspicious and indicative of advanced alien technology to avoid detection. Moon built by aliens and secret alien bases refers to theories suggesting that Earth's moon is an artificial structure created by extraterrestrial intelligence, proponents point to the moon's unusually circular orbit and its perfect positioning for solar eclipses as potential evidence of intelligent design. The moon's lower density compared to Earth has led some to speculate that it may be hollow or partially hollow, possibly housing alien bases. Some moon rocks retrieved during Apollo missions have been dated as older than Earth rocks, fueling theories about the moon's artificial origins. Transient lunar phenomena, unexplained flashes of light or color changes on the lunar surface, are cited as possible signs of active alien technology.
Termed transient lunar phenomena, people that study the moon see changes, typically very short term, such as clouds that appear on the moon, or discolorations, or brightening and darkening. The reason for these transient lunar phenomena that we see from our vantage point is still a mystery, but accounts of something seemingly wrong with the moon's appearance on a short-term basis go back a very long time, possibly as early as the 6th century, and persist to this day with surprising regularity of reports.
The extended reverberations of moonquakes recorded during Apollo missions have been interpreted by some as evidence of large caverns or a hollow structure. The spaceship moon theory, proposed by Soviet scientists in 1970, suggested the moon could be a hollowed-out planetoid created by advanced beings. Unusual structures observed on the lunar surface, such as the shard and tower, are sometimes interpreted as potential alien constructions. The far side of the moon, perpetually hidden from Earth, is speculated to host secret alien bases away from human observation. Moon landing hoax theories refer to the belief that the Apollo missions, particularly Apollo 11, never actually landed humans on the moon. Proponents argue that NASA faked the moon landings to win the space race against the Soviet Union during the Cold War. One of the main pieces of evidence cited is the lack of stars visible in the lunar sky in photographs and video footage from the missions. Some theorists point to the way the American flag appears to wave on the moon, despite the lack of atmosphere, suggesting it was filmed on a stage with artificial wind. The perfect framing and lighting of certain iconic photographs are sometimes interpreted as evidence of professional studio setups rather than spontaneous lunar photography. Conspiracy theorists argue that the Van Allen radiation belts surrounding Earth would have been lethal to the astronauts, making the journey impossible with 1960s technology.
Naturally, we have to pass through this danger zone twice, once up and once back. But Orion has protection. Shielding will be put to the test as the vehicle cuts through the waves of radiation. Sensors aboard will record radiation levels for scientists to study. We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space.
And it will be able to launch the Orion capsule with humans on board, as well as landers or other components to destinations beyond Earth orbit. Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go. And this new system that we're building is going to allow us to go beyond and hopefully take humans into the solar system to explore. So the moon, Mars, asteroids, there's a lot of destinations that we could go to.
Some believe that filmmaker Stanley Kubrick was involved in staging the moon landings, citing supposed similarities between the lunar footage and his film 2001: A Space Odyssey. The lack of a visible blast crater under the lunar module in photographs is sometimes presented as proof that the craft never actually landed on the moon's surface. Morphogenetic Fields refers to a theory proposed by biologist Rupert Sheldrake, suggesting invisible organizing fields that guide the development and behavior of organisms. These fields are hypothesized to contain a collective memory for each species, influencing everything from physical form to instinctive behaviors. Proponents argue that morphogenetic fields could explain complex biological processes not fully accounted for by DNA and chemical interactions alone. The regeneration abilities of organisms like planarian flatworms are cited as potential evidence for guiding fields beyond genetic information. Sheldrake's concept of morphic resonance suggests that these fields can span time, allowing organisms to access ancestral memories or knowledge. Some researchers propose that morphogenetic fields could provide a scientific basis for phenomena like collective consciousness or telepathy. The theory has been applied to explain instinctive behaviors in animals, such as the navigation abilities of migrating birds. Critics argue that the concept lacks empirical evidence and is not supported by mainstream scientific understanding. Supporters suggest that advancements in quantum physics may eventually provide a framework for understanding and testing morphogenetic fields. While controversial, the theory continues to intrigue those seeking alternative explanations for complex biological and psychological phenomena. Mortal ascendency theory refers to the concept that a dying god created humanity as a final attempt to ensure divinity's continuation. This theory proposes that an all-powerful deity, facing its own mortality, invested its remaining energy into creating beings capable of eventually ascending to godhood themselves. Some proponents of this idea point to ancient myths and religious texts that hint at divine beings fearing their own demise or succession, such as the Greek myth of Zeus fearing his children would overthrow him. The theory finds parallels in scientific concepts like the omega point, proposed by Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, which suggests humanity's ultimate evolutionary goal is to merge into a collective consciousness akin to godhood. Quantum physics' many worlds interpretation, proposing that all possible alternate histories and futures are real, is sometimes cited as indirect support for the possibility of a universe born from a divine entity's final act. Advocates of the mortal ascendency theory argue that it offers a compelling explanation for humanity's innate drive towards self-improvement and transcendence, viewing it as an embedded divine imperative. Some followers of this concept believe that humanity's rapid technological advancements and increasing understanding of the universe are signs of our gradual approach towards a godlike state. Most drugs are benevolent refers to a fringe theory positing that the majority of substances classified as drugs have positive effects on human consciousness and society when used responsibly. Proponents of this view argue that many natural and synthetic compounds labeled as drugs can enhance creativity, promote self-reflection, and facilitate personal growth. They point to traditional uses of psychoactive plants in various cultures for spiritual and medicinal purposes as evidence of their potential benefits. Some adherents cite studies on the therapeutic potential of certain psychedelics in treating mental health conditions like depression, anxiety, and PTSD. The theory challenges conventional drug scheduling systems, suggesting that many substances are misclassified due to political and social factors rather than scientific evidence. Supporters often highlight the potential of cannabis in pain management and its lower risk profile compared to many prescription medications. They argue that the negative consequences associated with drug use are largely due to prohibition and lack of education rather than inherent dangers of the substances themselves. Mothman refers to a cryptid creature reportedly sighted in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, during the 1960s, described as a large, winged humanoid with glowing red eyes. Witnesses claim the Mothman stands around 7 feet tall, with a wingspan of up to 10 feet, and possesses the ability to fly at high speeds without flapping its wings. The first widely publicized Mothman sighting occurred on November 15, 1966, when 2 couples reported encountering the creature near an abandoned World War II munitions plant. Over the following year, numerous sightings were reported in the Point Pleasant area, coinciding with other strange phenomena such as UFO sightings and electrical disturbances. Some believers associate the Mothman with the collapse of the Silver Bridge on December 15, 1967, which resulted in 46 deaths, viewing the creature as a harbinger of disaster. Skeptics propose that the Mothman sightings may have been misidentifications of large birds, such as sandhill cranes or barn owls, possibly enhanced by mass hysteria. Proponents of the Mothman's existence point to the consistency of descriptions across multiple independent witnesses and the creature's apparent ability to instill fear in observers. The Mothman phenomenon has parallels in other cultures, with similar winged humanoid creatures reported in various parts of the world, suggesting a possibly universal archetype or unexplained entity. Mount Rushmore has full bodies refers to a theory that the iconic presidential sculptures on Mount Rushmore in South Dakota extend far beyond the visible heads, with complete bodies hidden within the mountain. Proponents of this idea claim that the original plan for the monument included carving full-body statues of the presidents, but the project was halted due to funding issues or other complications. Some believers point to early sketches and plans by sculptor Gutzon Borglum that allegedly show more extensive designs for the monument. Supporters of the theory often cite the existence of the Hall of Records, a hidden chamber behind the sculptures, as evidence that there may be more to the monument than meets the eye. Geological surveys and official statements from the National Park Service contradict this theory, stating that the sculptures are limited to the president's heads. However, believers argue that these official accounts may be part of a cover-up to maintain the mystery and potentially complete the monument in the future. Some versions of the theory suggest that the bodies were partially carved and then deliberately concealed to protect them from weathering or vandalism. Advocates often reference other large-scale, unfinished sculptures around the world as precedent for the possibility of hidden, incomplete work at Mount Rushmore. Mountain Peak Enigma refers to a conspiracy theory suggesting that the summits of mountains are not as they appear, potentially hiding artificial structures, secret bases, or gateways to other dimensions. Believers point to the symmetry of some mountain ranges and unexplained archaeological discoveries at high altitudes as evidence of artificial mountain creation by ancient civilizations or extraterrestrial beings. Proponents cite examples like Machu Picchu in the Andes and the ruins on Mount Ararat as indicators of advanced civilizations operating at extreme elevations. The theory draws parallels with real underground military installations like the Cheyenne Mountain Complex, suggesting that mountain peaks could house similar covert facilities. UFO enthusiasts often link this concept to frequent sightings and strange occurrences reported in mountainous regions such as the San Luis Valley in Colorado and the Himalayas. Some versions of the theory propose that certain mountains, like the unclimbed Mount Kailash, are portals to other dimensions, connecting the idea to quantum physics concepts of multiple dimensions. Advocates of this theory interpret the spiritual significance of mountains in various cultures as potential evidence of their hidden nature or cosmic importance. While lacking scientific support, the Mountain Peak Enigma theory continues to intrigue those who seek alternative explanations for geological formations and historical mysteries. Mount Kailash refers to a sacred mountain in Tibet that some theorists believe may be an artificial structure, possibly an ancient pyramid or part of a hidden city. The mountain's unusual symmetry and near-perfect alignment with cardinal directions have led some researchers to question its natural formation. Proponents of this theory point to the mountain's height of approximately 6,638 meters and the claim that it takes exactly 108 turns to circumnavigate it, noting the significance of these numbers in various Eastern religions. Satellite imagery has revealed extensive ancient road networks and potential man-made structures around Mount Kailash, suggesting to some the presence of advanced city planning in the distant past. Visitors to the area have reported experiencing unusual rapid aging, with accelerated nail and hair growth, which some attribute to heightened electromagnetic activity often associated with pyramids. The Chinese government's prohibition of climbing expeditions on Mount Kailash since the 2000s has fueled speculation about what might be hidden on or within the mountain. Ancient Hindu texts referring to Mount Kailash as the World Pillar or Axis Mundi are interpreted by some as evidence of its artificial nature or cosmic importance. The mountain's isolated location and unique features have led to theories about it being a remnant of an advanced ancient civilization, potentially rewriting our understanding of human history. Movie Labs refers to a theory that certain films are created as psychological experiments or social engineering tools by government agencies or secretive organizations. Proponents of this idea claim that some movies are designed to test audience reactions, shape public opinion, or even introduce new concepts or technologies to the masses. Believers point to predictive elements in films that seem to foreshadow real-world events, suggesting these movies might be part of a disclosure program or preparatory conditioning. Some theorists argue that the CIA's documented involvement in Hollywood productions, as revealed in declassified documents, lends credence to the idea of more extensive manipulation. Supporters of the Movie Labs concept often cite Stanley Kubrick's films as examples, noting their meticulous detail and alleged hidden meanings. The theory sometimes extends to the idea that film studios serve as fronts for advanced research and development projects, with movie production as a cover for testing new technologies. Advocates suggest that the immersive nature of cinema makes it an ideal medium for subliminal messaging and mass psychological experiments. Some versions of this theory propose that certain directors or producers are unwitting participants, chosen for their ability to translate complex concepts into compelling narratives. Multiple Christs theory posits that the biblical figure of Jesus Christ may be a composite of several individuals who lived during the same historical period. Proponents of this theory point to inconsistencies in the New Testament, particularly the differing accounts of Jesus' life, teachings, and personality across the four Gospels. Supporters note that the Synoptic Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, portray Jesus as an apocalyptic preacher, while John's Gospel presents him as a metaphysical philosopher, suggesting potentially different individuals. The theory draws attention to discrepancies in the timeline of events such as Jesus' birth and resurrection across Gospel accounts. The Jesus Seminar, a group of biblical scholars and laypeople, has contributed to this theory by suggesting that only a small percentage of words attributed to Jesus in the Gospels were likely his. Advocates cite the diversity of beliefs about Jesus in early Christian groups as evidence for the possibility of multiple Jesuses in the first century. The discovery of the Nag Hammadi library and other Gnostic Gospels in the mid-20th century is seen by some as further support for the multiplicity of early Christian beliefs and potentially multiple Christ figures. Proponents argue that this theory could explain the wide array of teachings and characteristics attributed to Jesus in various texts and traditions. Multiple suns theory proposes that our solar system actually contains more than one sun, contrary to conventional astronomical understanding. Proponents of this idea suggest that a second or even multiple additional suns exist, but are typically hidden from view or mistaken for other celestial objects. Some believers point to ancient myths and legends from various cultures that describe multiple suns in the sky as potential evidence for this theory. Supporters often cite unusual atmospheric phenomena, such as sundogs or light pillars, as possible glimpses of these hidden suns. The theory sometimes incorporates the concept of a binary star system, suggesting that our sun has a companion star in a wide orbit. Some versions of the multiple suns theory connect to ideas about cyclical catastrophes, proposing that these additional suns periodically become visible and cause global upheavals. Proponents have attempted to link unexplained climate changes and geological events to the influence of these hypothetical additional suns. While mainstream science rejects this theory, believers often argue that the scientific community is either unaware of or deliberately concealing the existence of multiple suns. Some adherents to this theory interpret certain NASA images or telescope observations as evidence of additional suns, though these claims are not supported by professional astronomers. The multiple suns theory often intersects with other alternative cosmological ideas, such as the electric universe theory, or various New Age beliefs about cosmic cycles and consciousness. Multiverse theory proposes that our universe is not unique, but rather one of many universes existing simultaneously. This concept suggests that an infinite number of universes, often called parallel universes, exist alongside our own, each with potentially different physical laws and constants. Proponents of the theory point to quantum mechanics, particularly the many worlds interpretation, which posits that all possible alternate histories and futures are real, each representing an actual world or parallel universe. Some versions of the theory are rooted in string theory and its concept of branes, which proposes that our universe exists on a membrane in a higher dimensional space, with other universes potentially existing on other membranes. Supporters argue that the multiverse concept could explain fine-tuning problems in physics, such as why our universe seems perfectly calibrated for life. Certain cosmological models, like eternal inflation, predict the existence of multiple universes as a natural consequence of the inflationary period following the Big Bang. Some researchers suggest that anomalies in the cosmic microwave background radiation could be evidence of collisions between our universe and others. While currently unprovable through direct observation, the multiverse theory continues to be explored by physicists and cosmologists as a potential explanation for various phenomena and paradoxes in our understanding of the universe. My red is not your red refers to the philosophical concept that individual perceptions of colors may vary significantly from person to person, despite using the same color terms. This idea suggests that the subjective experience of seeing red might be entirely different for each individual, even if they agree on which objects are red. Proponents of this theory point to the fact that color perception is a complex process involving the eyes, brain, and personal experiences, which can differ among individuals. Some researchers argue that variations in the number and sensitivity of cone cells in the retina could lead to subtle differences in color perception between people. Supporters of this concept often cite the philosophical thought experiment known as the inverted spectrum, which imagines a person whose color experiences are systematically inverted compared to others. Neuroscientific studies have shown that the brain's interpretation of color can be influenced by factors such as language, culture, and personal associations, potentially leading to varied perceptions. Certain genetic variations, like those responsible for color blindness, provide concrete examples of how color perception can differ between individuals. While difficult to prove definitively, this theory raises intriguing questions about the nature of consciousness, perception, and the subjective experience of reality. Myziam refers to an alleged extraterrestrial entity that communicated with users on the 4chan image board in 2017, claiming to be stranded on Earth and seeking assistance to leave. The entity's posts were noted for their consistent and unique linguistic style, exhibiting an unusual understanding of earthly concepts that some interpreted as non-human in origin. Myziam shared photographs purportedly taken from space and other planets, some of which closely resembled real satellite images, while others showed unique perspectives of Earth. Supporters of the Myziam narrative point out that some of the shared images accurately match the geographical location of Earth at the time of posting, a detail they argue would be challenging to forge. The entity provided detailed information about extraterrestrial life, technology, and space travel methods that were beyond common understanding yet consistent with some advanced scientific theories. Proponents of the Myziam story argue that the level of detail, consistency, and the production of unique, verifiable photos would require an extraordinary amount of effort if it were a hoax. Skeptics suggest that the Myziam narrative could have been an elaborate social experiment or prank, while believers maintain the possibility of genuine extraterrestrial communication. The Myziam incident remains unresolved, with discussions continuing about its authenticity and implications for our understanding of extraterrestrial life and communication. Naga Fireballs refer to a mysterious phenomenon observed in the Mekong River along the Laos-Thailand border, where glowing balls of light rise from the water into the sky. These reddish-pink orbs, ranging from smaller than a basketball to several meters in diameter, are reported to appear annually in October, coinciding with the end of the Buddhist Lent. Witnesses describe the fireballs as soundless, odorless, and rising to heights of up to 100 to 200 meters before disappearing. Local folklore attributes the phenomenon to the Naga, a mythical serpent said to inhabit the Mekong River, which releases the fireballs as a celebration. Some scientists propose that the fireballs could be the result of flammable gases like methane or phosphine produced by decomposing organic matter in the riverbed. Proponents of the phenomenon's authenticity point to its predictable occurrence and the sheer number of eyewitness accounts over many years. Skeptics suggest the fireballs might be man-made, possibly tracer rounds fired by the Laotian military or a coordinated hoax using flares or lanterns. The Naga Fireballs have become a significant cultural and tourist attraction, with festivals organized around the expected dates of their appearance. Nails are sentient refers to the belief that human fingernails and toenails possess a form of consciousness or awareness beyond their known biological functions. Proponents of this theory suggest that nails can perceive and respond to their environment in subtle ways. Some believers point to the phenomenon of accelerated nail growth when nails are frequently trimmed as evidence of a responsive, potentially sentient behavior. Advocates often cite the complex structure of nails, including their rich network of nerves and blood vessels, as potential indicators of a more sophisticated sensory system than previously thought. Supporters sometimes draw parallels between nail growth patterns and plant behavior, suggesting that nails might possess a form of intelligence similar to that proposed in some theories of plant consciousness. The theory sometimes extends to the idea that nails can store and transmit information, with some proponents claiming that nail clippings retain a connection to the individual they came from. Some believers in nail sentience practice rituals or communication attempts with their nails, reporting perceived responses or sensations. This concept, while lacking scientific support, reflects broader questions about the nature of consciousness and the potential for awareness in unexpected places within the human body.